My passion for sim racing isn't just about having a rig to race on. For me, it's about building something so immersive that I can't help but feel like I'm actually on the track. That's what simulation is to me. It's tricking the brain into believing. Now, earlier this year, I set out to build a 992-inspired cup car rig, one that blurred the lines between reality and simulation. I wanted it to look and feel so real that even people watching my videos would question whether it was legit. And I got pretty close, but not close enough. Version 1 was great. The enclosure, the makeshift roll bars, the custom ambient lighting system, and even all those bolt-on 3D printed parts. They took it to the next level. It almost fooled people. But as a perfectionist, almost just isn't enough. That's why I'm starting fresh. Version 2 has to do things that I didn't even think were possible in version 1. This isn't just my build anymore. It's going to be a community project. And this time, I want to document it all. The setbacks, the progress, the why behind every decision. For a build of this magnitude, there's no way I was going to be able to do this by myself. So I reached out to some friends in the sim racing industry and in a few other industries to help support. You guys are going to meet them along the way. This video isn't even the start of the project. This is the end of the planning phase. Here's where we're at and where we're going. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first teased this idea for a 2.0 build a couple weeks ago, I didn't realize the level of support that I was going to have for this build. And now that I do, I see the potential it has to be one of the absolutely most immersive sim rigs ever made. And I'm really excited about that. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are going to say I could just go out and buy a VR headset and I would have more immersion. And I get it. And to some degree, maybe you're right. But it's not just about going out and getting a headset. It's about the process of building something that's going to look absolutely amazing and feel amazing without the need for a headset. It's about just feeling absolutely immersed using your average triple 32-inch screens. And overall, it's just about how much I enjoy building these rigs and sharing them with you guys. All right, guys. So as I mentioned, I really want to get deep into where this build's heading. But at the same time, I want to share some of where things are at. And I'll start over here. So Creality K1 Max printer, you guys are probably familiar. This thing's been the star of these builds so far. And ultimately, I wouldn't be where I was without it. But there's more coming. This isn't going to be the only thing that I use to build parts. And I'll share that with you guys in a minute. In the meantime, this wheel that I'm working on is going to be a big part of the build. It may not be the only wheel, but from a POV immersion standpoint, it's definitely a wheel that I think is going to have a lot of impact. I know it's got this large logo and it's a little offset, but that's not final version. That's just me messing around. So don't take too much away from that. Ultimately though, this wheel is going to be huge in this build, assuming that I can get it built and put together right. Now moving over to the rig. I know a lot of you guys were probably surprised to see it stripped down to this point. In all the time since I built this rig, it's almost not spent any time without a full enclosure on it. This is like very rare, if at all, that it goes this long. But to be quite honest with you, I'm doing a bit of testing with sponsors and other brands and things like that. And being able to swap parts in and out and just have everything accessible for right now makes the most sense. But as we get deep into the build, I'm looking forward to seeing some new gear and some great things on this rig. I don't even know that this will be the final rig. There's a lot of things up in the air with this build. If we come down, you can see I'm kind of working on the cable management. Of course, I've got to get some things right between the streaming PC and the other PC. There's a lot of cable lines in there that need a proper mounting, and that'll be part of the final build. But for the most part, a lot of these cables have been hidden very well. What you're seeing here is just my camera's OBS cables. And then the butt kicker, when I did the butt kicker review, I hadn't even gotten the amp mounted. It was just sitting right here. So you can see the wires are all cleaned up. Amps mounted behind the monitor. Overall, it's a much cleaner look. And despite the fact that this may not be the rig that I use, ultimately, I wanted to get these things done just to have an idea of whether I use this rig or a different rig, how I wanted to manage the cables so it didn't end up being as messy as the last one was. Now's the part where I want to bring you guys into some planning for this rig, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of the design concept. I'm thinking a full floor to roof enclosure. I mean, floor matches perfectly like with the actual cup car. Roof matches almost perfectly, roll bars, all that stuff. But there's a few other factors to be considered, and I'm going to get back around to that. But I previously mentioned that 3D printing wasn't going to be the only thing used to design parts for this rig. For this build, I've actually partnered with SaneSmart to get a desktop CNC machine. Now, I've never done any CNC work before. This is going to be the first time, but I learned 3D printing pretty quick, so I think I can get the whole CNC milling thing down. It's really just going to come down to, once the CNC machine arrives, getting it set up, figuring out how to use it, and making sure it can deliver the quality that I need for this build. Like, the idea of just being able to use a CNC machine to design actual aluminum parts and maybe even carbon fiber parts for this build is going to be huge. Like, that brings a whole nother level of sturdiness and design quality and everything that I originally didn't necessarily think I would be doing. But having the opportunity now, I'm super stoked for it. Now, if you guys have stuck around this long, you're probably as enthused about this build as I am. And I need your guys' help making a big decision. I'm really considering actually going full motion for this build. And I think it could be really epic. But I need to know if you guys really think that that's necessary. So if you think I should go full motion, just comment down in the comments section, full motion. You guys can go comment it right now. Comment it at the end. I just need to know if you guys think that this will be that majorly impactful to making the rig super immersive. Maybe a belt tensioner too. Now, naturally, for a lot of this build, I'm still going to have to do a lot of 3D printing. I plan on reusing the original side impact bar and probably the original center console because I was actually pretty happy with how it came out. The dash turned out really good with the button box, but there's a potential button box out there, more professionally made, that I think could look amazing on this rig, and it very well may find its way here, which may mean modifying the dash a bit. If that happens, it won't necessarily be a perfect replica of the car that I originally had planned, but it'll be well worth making that exception to get this button box on the rig. It looks amazing. But anyways, that's just some things that are kind of floating around in my head. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into some of the planning that's gone on. I didn't want to give away too much. I still have a lot of conversations I'm having, a lot of things that I haven't fully finalized yet, but that are definitely in the works. And I think having you guys' input early on really will drive this home as the ultimate community build. If you guys want to stick around and see how absolutely insane this build's going to get, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell so that you get notifications when the new videos come out. And just recently, in the last few days, I finally have the Third Wheel Exclusive website up. So you can head over to thirdwheelexclusive.com and be able to see the rig build as it's happening. Right now I have quite a bit of photos of the original build, and you guys can go check those out if you want to. I also created a little newsletter, shared some affiliate links in there, just things that'll help support the channel grow. So go check that out. I'll put the link in the description for you guys. And I'll see you guys next week with some really exciting reviews that I'm really looking forward to. I've got a very special package coming from Apex, and I look forward to getting a hold of it and playing with some new gear.